Hi, I'm Rachelle with Originally Worn, and today I'm going to show you how to transfer almost any image onto a painted surface. It's really quick and easy. You just need some Annie Sloan paint and a laser printed or copied image. So this is what we're going to be working on today. It's actually a sugar mold, and I'm going to put my paintbrushes inside of it on my shelf. So you'll need that. I'm gonna make a custom color of Annie Sloan paint using Annie Sloan Original and Annie Sloan Scandinavian Pink. It'll make a very, very light coral pink. And I'm going to use my large, actually this is the medium, Annie Sloan round paintbrush, which I love these brushes. I use them all the time. But the main important thing that you need is this right here. So I printed off two to show you. So you have to make a design. It can be a picture, it can be words, it can be whatever you want, but it has to be printed or copied from a machine that uses toner, not inkjet. So like a laser printer or a laser copier. If you don't have one of these, you could go up to your local kind of Staples or your paper kind of copy store, and they should be able to do that for you really easy. So I've made this design up, and you can see like this is what you would normally see printed off, and this is what we're gonna have for our end product. So it's gonna kind of go along the top edge here, but all the white is gonna be gone. Even if you want your white in your design, you can't. Printers don't print white, they only print the absence of white. So a black and white image works perfect, or a color image if you have a color laser copier or printer. But the most important thing you need to do is take your design and then you need to reverse it or flip it. So it's backwards, because we're gonna end up turning this and laying it like that. So if you don't do that, your words are gonna be backwards. Now, if this was just flowers, it wouldn't matter, but it's a good process to start. I can do this in my Photoshop. It's called flip horizontal. Some printers or copiers have that option too. Or of course, if you tell the person at the store to do it, that's easy peasy too. So you'll start with your kind of, clean and ready paint surface there. And I've got my color all mixed up here. And you're gonna want a decent amount of paint, but not a huge extreme goober of paint. Now I would have went along and probably painted the rest of this prior. Oops, got a hair, there you go. But for purposes today, I'll just go and I will paint the rest of it later. So you're gonna, like I said, want a decently thick amount of paint. Too little and your image won't grab, and too much you'll get really a lot of goopy lines and it won't look very clean. So actually a quick process in the sense of doesn't take much effort, just it needs dry time. So I try to get an even-ish layer. Might put a wee bit more on there. Because again, you do want it thick-ish. Not as thick as when you crackle, if you're familiar with blow dry and crackle of Annie Sloan. Oh, I mixed this paint up a long time ago. It's got kind of dried chunks in it. There you can kind of see though how thick it is. So I will smooth that back out. And then you'll take your reversed image, so the words are backwards, flip it so your words are the correct way. Kind of try to eyeball lay it down there. And then where it kind of lands, you let it, and then you push it smooth. Now you don't want to really move it now that you've pushed it down, so you kind of Gently push it into the paint and the air bubbles. You probably have a little bit of time If you just, it's just absolutely not great. You could pick it up. But what's gonna happen is as this dries overnight now, you really need it to dry overnight. It just is your best results. I know I'm impatient too, and it's hard to do, but you let it dry overnight, and that Annie Sloan paint's gonna suck the toner out of this paper, and then we're gonna come back and kind of rub the paper off, and that toner is gonna be basically into that paint. It's not gonna sit on top of it. It's a really cool effect. So if you are a transfer person, you might have like a big stencil roller or something like that to really smooth these down with. I'm not gonna worry about it too much on here. So now we're gonna leave this overnighter for 24 hours. So this surface has dried for about 24 hours now, and I'm gonna take a fine mist squirt bottle that's filled with water and just kind of lightly get the paper wet. You don't wanna over soak it because you don't wanna get your image to kind of rip off with it, but lightly kind of start to spray it, and then you see how it's starting to come through. You can get a little bit more there. This one really is showing through well. Some do, some don't. And then start kind of doing this, and it'll start to pill up. You see that? And then you just work slowly at doing this, and what you'll find as you go that like this you'll think is finished right here, but it's not. Even you can keep going and keep getting more and more off, and you can add more water if you need, or you can let it dry and see if it has a white film still on it. Just be careful because you can rub all the way through it and take it back off. You also can get your paint too wet. It is Annie Sloan paint, so it's has water base to it. You can get it too wet and start to kind of take your paint back off with it. So slow kind of just rubbing motions, and it's just a kind of tedious process, but it's pretty cool. It's finished now. You can kind of feel when all the paper is gone, it becomes like a smooth finish now and it doesn't pill up. But you can also let it dry, and if there's more paper there, it'll keep a white film. That's especially on like dark colors, that's really helpful. You can see like over here where it kind of took some of the paint off with it. Of course, I like distressed, that's fine with me, but if you don't, you can just fix those little areas with a small brush. And then you could distress or not, and just go over this with some clear wax and some dark wax or whatever you want to do, but you can protect it with clear wax, and then you're done. Hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and share it with your friends and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Happy painting!